Good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, August 16th, 2021, and welcome to our KC High Virtual Assembly. We have a few announcements this morning, and then we have some learners who will share some of their ideas about Independence Day and India's accomplishments at the Olympics. So let's go ahead and get started and try to get through the announcements quickly so that we can hear from the young learners. All right. Today is the 16th of August, as I said. I hope that you can see this and I hope that you can hear me. So we have some important dates in August. Of course, this Friday is a holiday, August 20th, and so is Monday, August 30th. High school teachers are returning to campus on Wednesday, the 25th of August. We have Madras Week this week, and we have a parent student teacher ADA on August 27th. You can always find the KC's calendar on our website, so please do keep an eye on the calendar. We are planning at this time to return to school with 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th graders on September 1st and 2nd. September 1st will be the 12th and 10th graders, and September 2nd will be the 11th and 9th graders. We will begin with a staggered schedule that is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday will be the seniors in 12th grade and the 10th graders. Both of those have exam boards this year, board exams this year, and the 11th and 9th graders will come on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Let's hope that the COVID situation gets better and that we can bring back more students more quickly. We are not yet going to be running the buses or the cafeteria, but we are investigating the possibility of getting those things started as soon as possible. All teachers will be vaccinated, and the timings will be 8:30 to 2:50 to start with. I'll just remind everyone that we have a lot of Madras Week activities planned. I won't go through the entire schedule because we have so many activities planned beginning from today. Lots of stories and tales and authors and historians and all sorts of exciting activities for our learners, especially in the afternoons, all week. So right through, even through the 23rd of August, we have lots of activities planned for the young learners. For example, I'll just show you 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, right through Thursday at least, we have lots of activities planned. Of course, Friday is a holiday. So I just mentioned also that yesterday we had a short and brief and very low-key Independence Day celebration at both of our campuses. Of course, we were socially distanced with masks on, trying to be safe. Just a reminder, as the Prime Minister said yesterday, thanks to the healthcare workers on the front line, the goal is for all Indian adults to be vaccinated by year's end. So it was a very low-key Independence Day celebration yesterday. We have a couple of videos on the social media channels. If you're not following us, please do on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, and you can see a short video prepared by our Hindi learners and the national anthem sung by our grade 6 learners. And please keep an eye on the social media. We've got some fabulous videos there. But today we have live some students from KC High who will present their viewpoints on Independence Day and on India in the Olympics. So let me go back and ask each of them quickly to just wave hi on the cameras. First, we have Shakti from grade 6. Shakti, can you wave hi, please? Nice to see you, Shakti. We also have Krishay from grade 7. Hi, Krishay, good to see you. We have Shreya from grade 10. Hi, Shreya, good to see you as well. Adisai from grade 11. Hi, Adisai, good to see you. And Adi from grade 12, our senior. Good to see you, Aditan. And I will be quiet now.
So good morning. We're here to talk about India at the Olympics. Since it was Independence Day yesterday, we're going to be going over some of India's challenges, highlights, and struggles at the Olympics. So first off, I personally think that it can't be denied that this was a game-changing Olympics for India. First off, which is the number of athletes that were at the Olympics itself. It was the highest ever, I think, 124. And some of the more simple things are this was one of the highest medal tallies that India has ever accumulated at the Olympics. But more importantly, it was a huge Olympics in terms of women in sport. I think some of the athletes themselves talked about how women winning medals at the Olympic level changes things for attitudes about women in sport locally in India as well. But yeah, there were several struggles along the way, several highlights. Does anybody want to start off talking about a few?
Yeah, one highlight of the Olympics this time I would say was Neeraj Chopra, the javelin thrower who won the gold. And Sindhu and Mirabai Chanu, Ravi Dahiya, there were several. We won 7 medals, and I think we came 48th in the entire medal tally. So, one common thing I noticed amongst all of these athletes were that most of them had foreign coaches and or they had gone abroad for training, and this was all sponsored by their respective federations. So yeah, so that was one common pattern I noticed, and I don't think that applies to many of the swimmers here because most of them just train in Bangalore and they don't have as much exposure as the other athletes. Even though we had 3 swimmers at the Olympics this time, Mana Patel, Sajjan Prakash, and Srihari Natraj. So that was a good thing. Does anyone want to continue?
I think one of the good things about them being sponsored to go and get foreign coaches was that they were exposed to new methods of mental conditioning, how to improve their mental health and how to help them, feel less nervous and visualize and especially rehab and recovery and new methods of new workouts and diets, and I think that was also a good thing.
I feel that India could have improved a lot in certain areas, and certain areas where we've improved from last time in Rio. So the medal tally, of course, we got 7 medals. That was really good compared to last time. And it's a huge improvement, and also we qualified for 17 out of the 33 games, so another great positive for India. But another thing that a thing that I feel that needs to be addressed pretty soon is there's been a lot of talk about sports infrastructure. So I feel, yes, there's always a room for improvement in this area, sports infrastructure. But the key is that we're not maintaining the infrastructure that we already have. And if we and let me give you an example of a place in Chennai. So in Velachery, there's a swimming pool and a gymnastics training center in Velachery. And when it was built, it was world class. I know because I've been there. And but what happened was after some time, it wasn't maintained properly, and then it became dirty. The equipment started rusting, and it wasn't very pleasing to the eye, and people didn't want to come here to train. So first, I think we have to maintain the infrastructure that we have. And another thing is the government needs to start thinking about the balance. There's so much of good infrastructure in these metros like Chennai, Hyderabad, and places like that. But 50% of the medals, the athletes that India sent to Tokyo were in the were from rural areas like Haryana and Punjab and villages. So we need to start building more infrastructure in these villages, and the people in cities need to start getting a sports mindset, and they need to start like putting more focus into the sports. And if we do this, I feel we have a much better chance to reach our full potential in these Olympics and come somewhere in the top 5 or the top 3 of the medals tally. Moving on.
I think it starts as early as Krishay said. He talked about mindset, right? When is a mindset created? A mindset is created as young as when you're a kid, when you're a student, when you're a child. So I think one thing that we need to work on is getting children interested in sports, or allowing them to pursue sports that they're really interested in. Because you see a lot of schools in India, I would say easily 80%, 85%, who prioritize academics way above how much they prioritize sports. You see maybe one sports hour a week, which is trivial as it is. You have schools which prioritize being a doctor or being an engineer over pursuing a sport that you're interested in, because due to the cultural norms that these professions produce higher incomes for your families and you support them better. Because the fact is, these Olympic medalists are not very financially stable. They get a lot of, only the ones who win medals or who get that gold medal, silver medal, bronze medal, get that prize money, get that recognition, because otherwise they're not very well to do. So India has to start incentivizing athletes and making it a more popular field to go in. So I think that it starts from as early as schools, where we have to encourage children to pursue the sport that they're interested in, give them the time to do it even during the school hours and their sports periods, give them the time to pursue that sport. So I think it starts as soon as that. But in terms of the Olympics in general, I feel that there was a lot of expectations for this year, because we had a lot of world number ones. According to the rankings, we had world number ones in archery. We had world number ones in archery. Obviously, it did not work as well as we had hoped to. We lost as early as the round of 16 in most events. We had world number ones in wrestling. Wrestling did pretty okay this year. And we had similarly in a couple of miscellaneous sports, we had world number ones. So I felt as though there was a lot of people were expecting India to do really well in the Olympics, and I felt that we had done better. But I feel there was room to achieve maybe 3 gold medals, 3 and 5 or something like that, which would have put us top 25, top 30. So it was better than last year, but I feel as though we could have done a little better.
I like
Yeah.
to where Krishay left.
Go ahead, Shreya.
I like to pick up where Krishay left off. I would say that as a sports person in India, and I aspire to represent my country someday, I would say that we have to start talking less and doing more, because as a sports person here, it's quite frustrating. Like Krishai said, the aquatic complex in Velachery, it's terribly maintained. It's an Olympic facility pool. I train there once a week, and it's very unpleasant to go there. The water tastes terrible. It gives several people infections. It's really unpleasant. No one's motivated to go train there. And there is also a lot of politics that takes place in the association. One is always trying to put down the other. There is no collective effort to represent the country. If I switch clubs from one place to another to try and get better, my previous coach always wants to ruin my name. So there's more of that politics than actually getting a student to be better. So there is that, and the facilities, like say all our Olympic swimmers, most of them train at Dolphin in Bangalore. And even though the coaches there have extreme influence over the entire swimming fraternity worldwide, they don't really sponsor any of the swimmers there to go abroad and train. And so there is barely any international exposure. There are so many international events that take place on a regular basis in swimming, but none of them go. They rarely go. And even if they do go, it's only the best. It's like winning the Olympics. They just want five people, the five best people in the country. They don't see that the others might have potential. So there's too much of a monopoly in India. So we really have to talk less and do more, in the sense building facilities, scientific training, scientific diets, mental health training. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Shreya. Would you like to wrap up, Adi?
Sure. So I think that everybody's brought up really important points. It's clear in seeing that countries with similar populations like China, or even a lot less like the US, and how they achieve at a global scale, and how that compares to India. Of course, that starts with mindsets like Adi Sai brought up, and better facilities like Krishay and Shreya talked about. But I think that it's important we recognize the achievements that the 7 medal winners and everybody who made it, even through a significant part of the competition. I think it's important we recognize their efforts and things like that, because, like we talked about, with such a huge population, the pressure can't be easy to be one of the very few people in a position to win a medal for your country. But yeah, I think that we've brought up a lot of important points here today, and I think that this is a good starting point for any discussion about sports in India. So thank you, everyone, for your contributions.
Thanks very much to all five of you. That was a very interesting discussion. We have classes beginning now, so I think we better wave goodbye and wish a good week to everybody out there in the KC community. That was a fascinating conversation, and we hope to have more conversations with you and other students at weekly assemblies.